Happy Halloween, everybody. Welcome to today's bonus episode of Around the Loop. That's right, you guys heard it. Bonus episode. Because why? It's Halloween, guys. So we're going to give it in with some spooky vibes, some stories, catching up with Around the Loop with my personal life, too. So y'all stay tuned, right? So welcome back. Welcome back. Good morning. Good morning to everybody. This episode is actually fresh off the press. So stay tuned. Anywho. Um, yeah, happy Halloween, everybody. I mean, I hope you guys are out there gonna have a great day. For the folks that are trick or treating with your kids, make sure you keep your kids close. Only because there's diddys out there, and the diddlers are gonna run around tonight. So there's gonna be some freakiness going on, and just stay tuned with that shit. Um, Also, just keep an eye out in your environment. Make sure you check where you're gonna go trick or treating, but also have fun. Have fun, enjoy it. For the folks that are actually going to stay home and give out candy, hey, I really appreciate you guys doing that because honestly, somebody's got to do it, right? But yeah, so there's a lot going on, guys. There's a lot been going on behind the scenes that I really want to catch you guys up on real quick, and that's been with these interviews. So I know you guys have been listening to interviews after interviews after interviews, right? And it's been such a blessing with all these opportunities that have been opening up for me. And it's been also a big blessing to be working with all these artists coming from all different directions, from all different backgrounds, all different styles, with all fascinating stories. And honestly, even the comedian as well that I had on my show. Super blessed to have that. And honestly, Oceanside, I'm very proud of you guys. We as a city, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it out there. And I mean, we've been making it out there, honestly. We really have been. But there's so much fucking talent in the city. So much talent, y'all. And we got to share it. We got to share that out with everybody. We got to be helping one another. There's a lot of hate out here, so just help one another. And so it's been great, guys. It's been great. A lot of work, honestly. It's been so much work doing this, and it's it's really cool. So all this is off the dome. None of this I have written down. So because I did put on Instagram for y'all folks out there who wanted a bonus episode, Halloween episode. Well, I got you guys. So, let's roll into some spooky ass stories, guys. All right, so Halloween. There's been rumors said that this is the night of the witches, where the demons come out, the spooky ghouls come out. And for one night, they roam the earth among us. Rumors go that old folklores go that the reason why we wear costumes is so the dead doesn't take us away, so they get confused that we're not the living. That's why we hide in costumes. Those are rumors, folklore that I've heard for you guys out there. So let's crack into some spooky ass stories, right? Even some personal ones. And this one actually was a childhood story. And this goes back to the house on San Diego Street back in Oside, where me and my family grew up in. And so when we got to the house many, many years ago, I think I want to say like 2002, something like that, 2001, when we arrived there, things were going good. And then roughly around being, I think, 13, 12, maybe 10, 11, something like that, we would, honestly, I started realizing the moment we started going to like Mexico to go visit my aunt and uncle there in Mexicali, at the time, when we'd come back, there was some weird shit going on. And as far as I can recall it, I think it really started the time that my dad took my brothers and siblings out to Mexico to Mexicali one time. And I stayed back with my mom, and I think we were working the lemonade stand. But anyway, so we worked that day, came back, and then I was home. And we only had 2 rooms. I mean, it was a small house and a small little place. So all my siblings, we all shared a room. We had a bunk bed and everything. And we had one bunk bed and then one single bed there where I shared a bed with my youngest brother. And so the freaky thing about that was nobody's home besides me and my mom, right? My mom's in her room. And I want to say this was around The time that this happened, I think it was like 9 o'clock at night. So I'm facing towards the middle of the room, basically. So if somebody was on the other bunk bed and they were facing me, we'd be facing inwards, right? Well, I was facing it because I was on my little phone trying to be on Facebook, trying to be cool at the time or something like that, right? Whatever. And we had these spring mattresses. So like when you sit on it or you lay on it, you can kind of hear it creak a little bit because you see the weight. Well, anyways, all of a sudden the room gets cold. And I'm like, fuck, it's kind of getting cold. Well, I didn't say fuck, right? Because I wasn't cussing back then. So let me take it back. So I was like, man, it's getting cold, and I can kind of see my breath in the air, like my hot breath. And I'm just like, okay, what's going on? All of a sudden, I shit you guys not, I see this weight of a body. It was like a full size human adult body laying on the mattress. And you can just see the indenture on the mattress, the weight of the body on the fucking mattress. Guys, shit you fucking not. My soul left the chat. I flipped around. I just started praying. I closed my eyes. And that's where it started beginning, right? Well, that was the start of it. Then it goes into the little sleep paralysis demons that were running around and shit. And sleep paralysis ain't no fucking joke. That's hence one of the reasons I'm kind of afraid, low key, to sleep on my back. It's a little spooky and shit, and I don't like doing that because I've had a little too many instances with sleep paralysis where I could feel the fucking creature, whatever it is, a little demon fucking crawl on my chest. Like, oh man, I've seen some crazy shit before, but that happened at that house. And there was another instance one time that I was out there. I was in my room, and actually all my siblings were there, so we were recording. I was just recording my sister. We were doing like a little small Snapchat or something, and all of a sudden, I had it in video, and there was this like little orb that just came like from the corner of the screen, and it came like flying right towards my sister's head, and then it swooped out of like the screen, kind of like a Nike swoosh motion, and kind of like a J. And so I put the video in black and white, and you can definitely see the fucking orb. It was an orb. It was a spirit orb that flew through there, right? That was another thing. So you know the stories go, and when these stories happen, they're from like weeks apart, months apart. And one time, my mama told me this, that she shit you not, she swore she saw me, full size me, sitting on the couch. There was a period of time when I was a lot older, and I was sleeping on the couch, and she swore that she saw me. Oh no, I wasn't sleeping on the couch yet. We were still in the room, but she thought I was on the couch, just sitting there, and that she saw me get up and just walk towards the kitchen. And it's a small house, so it's not a big kitchen at all. And she said that she just, was quiet about that. Went back to her room. Well, anywho, I happened to see the same thing. Except I think it was my mom that I saw. But I just saw her walk, like from the corner of my eye, I could just see her walk towards the kitchen. So I was surprised, like, Mom, and nobody was there. So I was like, what the fuck? And those are the starts of the stories, right? Well, it comes to find out that it was the old landlord. His brother was also part of building that house, a piece of that property. Story goes, rumors are, just rumors, that he passed away in the room that we were in. And it started making sense because there was times that the room got real cold. And I mean fucking cold. And it was the coldest room out of all the little house. It was fucking cold. Never made sense. And that's just the start of it. So, other freaky ass stories. Let's see. Here's another one for you guys. The time that I saw a shapeshifter. Yeah, shit was wild. I think it was a skinwalker, I believe. And story goes, so I was driving through the 76. I'm not gonna say exactly where I saw it, but it was on the 76. We were driving, and all of a sudden, there was a man walking on the side of the road. There was a man. Hence, I'm saying a man, right? Full-size man. I want to say probably standing at, I don't know, between 5'10", 6 feet tall, 200 to 220, 30 pounds, in that range, right? Well, it was a man. The moment that man passed the fucking sign that was on the side of the road, I looked back and there was no man. There was a coyote. A fucking coyote. That was a fucking trip. And, well, shit. There's another one that my brother can actually, this actually happened to him. So, story goes, for you guys, the spooky story, folklore is real on the native reservations out there. If there are stories about folklore, like, pay attention to that, respect it, because this shit's real. Believe it or not. And if you want to believe it, cool. If you don't want to believe it and you want to come out and find out for yourself, be my fucking guest. All right, here we go. So I had my brothers come out, right? And I told them the story about the frogman. And yeah, frogman, right? Well, frogman is it's a full-size frog that stands about 5 feet. When it stands up, it sounds about 5 feet tall, 5'2", something like that, 5'4". It's not that big, but it's a full-size, like, man frog. Not half man, half frog. No, it's just a full-size frog. It's like an overgrown frog. Anyways, he is a spirit and a protector of the land. And you're not supposed to mess with the frogs or the wildlife animals around there, because frogman will see it and he'll come out and warn you or get you. And so I told my brothers about it and their friends. I was like, hey, you see any animals out here? Leave it alone. Don't fuck with it. Leave it alone. What they do? They were taking pictures of this little frog by the tree. And now my soul sank. I was like, fuck. And I told them, I was like, guys, I hope you guys leave that frog alone, because you guys already fucked with it. Like, mm-mm. And they didn't actually hurt the frog, but they were just taking pictures and videos and thought it was funny to see a frog. Well, you don't disturb the animals. So later on that night, it's about, I want to say about 11 o'clock, my brothers and their friends stayed over. So we were all sleeping in the living room, just watching TV. So my brother goes out to his car. And my brother was in the Marine Corps too. So he's a fast runner. He's a runner. He's a track star. Anyways, I've never seen this man move faster than fucking lightning. He comes to the house fucking gasping for air. He's like, hey man, you wouldn't believe what I saw. And I was like, what happened? So he goes, hey, so I went to my car, bro, and on the street, he's like, are there any tweakers out right now? And I was like, nah, they don't come out till like 3 a.m. Some demon hours, right? So I said, no, bro, there's nobody out there. He goes, what the fuck? He's like, man, dude, there's something out there. And I was like, what happened? He goes, well, bro, so I went to my car and on the street, right on the street light, there was a shadow, and it was like squatted down, kind of like like a Ninja Turtle, like how the Ninja Turtle squat down, or a gargoyle squats down, or you squat down, and you kind of like you know what I mean. Well, anyways, was in like a frog squat down position. Anyways, he said that he saw the shadow figure, whatever it was. It was in the light. He couldn't really like see the full face to it or whatever it was, because it was all like shadowed on the light. And he said that the creature fucking stood up upright. He said it was about 5 feet tall, 5'4", between that height. And he looked at it. It looked at him, and he said the way that it fucking ran off, it turned around and it, I want to say, kind of like it waddled. So it didn't bend its legs like a normal human would run. It was kind of like if it was, you were stiffed out, like if you tried running without bending your knees. So it's kind of like left and right, left and right, left and right, kind of like a little salsa dance. And he said that when it fucking took off, it did not make a single sound. Silent. My brother was traumatized by it, because I mean, he fucking was just running, gasping for air. He's like, dude, I was scared. Like, he's like, oh fuck no. And yeah, so that's the story of a frog man. For you guys out there, leave Mother Nature alone. Leave the animals alone. Respect the fucking the stories out on the reservations out there, because they're real. They really are. Now, stories for Oside. So, growing up, there's been rumors and stories of the canyon creatures. And well, the canyon now is really kind of gated up right there in the little small beloved east side neighborhood of Bosoli. And I remember as a kid, there was a house down there. My brothers actually went to too as well. That was, you know, graffitied up. It was abandoned and shit. Well, there was one time a girl that went missing, and I just remember us kids. We were out there on the cliffs. We were just looking down, and we swear we saw the missing girl. And we tried calling her name and everything. We tried calling her name, and man, it was weird. She just kept walking. She either ignored us or didn't hear us, but we were loud. So I grabbed a little rock, right? And I was like, oh, maybe I can get her attention. So I fucking threw it. And little rock, I mean, when you make an okay sign, size like that, so not a big rock, small fucking pebble-sized rock, enough weight to, get off the cliff. Well, it accidentally hit her in the head, and she just kept walking. So it's fucking weird. Well, we never know what happened to the missing girl. I don't know. She just disappeared. Or was it even a human? We don't fucking know. There's been rumors of canyon creatures down in the canyons. There's been ghouls, goblins down there. And it's real. Shit roams around. Let's see, another one. Ooh, the Del Mar Fair. So back in 2015, in the summer of 2015, I was working at the Del Mar Fair. And at the racetracks, the grandstands there, it has been said that the tallest floor, I'm not going to say specifically which one, but the tallest floor there is haunted. And you'll see shadow figures from time to time. You'll see things from the corners of your eyes. So one time I was working in an event, and I happened to actually see a person walk by. And it was weird because nobody else was on that fucking floor, and I used it as a shortcut just to get through. So I could have, been tripping, seeing a person or not. But what I saw was a fucking crazy thing. It just fucking, it was a full person just walking by. And I turned around to look, and it was gone. So I was like, oh, hell no. My hair stood up on my fucking arms and shit. And there's another time for another old company, for a old company I was working for. I'm not going to say who. But me and my coworkers were there, right? And this was at a church. I'm not going to say the location, but it was here in the San Diego area. And we were working at a church, and me and my coworkers were working in this small little closet room to put the network in and the access control fucking panel in and shit. And from the corner of my eye, I was walking around the corner to the father's room where he does his changing and stuff, and gets his uniform and stuff and whatnot, and the pastor. And from the corner of my eye, I see this fucking shadow figure. But it wasn't a shadow figure. It was kind of weird because it wasn't black. It was all white. So it was like a ghost, like a fucking white light just walked past me, and it was weird as fuck. Because I couldn't believe that shit. I was like, what the fuck is that? And I even told my coworker. My coworker saw it too. So that shit was a trip. But for you folks out there, don't be fucking around with no those stupid ass Ouija boards. Oh, Ouija boards, right? So here's another one. Here's another story. Really happened. So back when I was in the Corps, we were out in Missouri, in Fort Leonard Wood, Fort Lost in the Woods, and a group of kids ended up, not a group of kids, a group of young Marines. Well, fuck, we were all young, but a group of young Marines thought it was funny to get a Ouija board, right? And so they were out there and they summoned something that, I shit you not, fucking got a hold of one of the fucking young Marines, and it teared his back up. It was bad. His shit was ripped up. Freaky ass shit started going around in the barracks there. There's a picture of a Marine ghost in the. There was a Marine that was FaceTiming his lady, and in the background, she screenshotted it, but there's a fucking Marine ghost in the background. Well, we thought, maybe he's on the first floor. Well, that picture was taken on the third floor. So there's no possible way that the ghost figure Marine was actually on, standing. It was floating. Fucking spooky ass shit. And just be careful out there, guys. Don't be fucking around with that shit. That shit's real. Ghouls and goblins, they exist. They're out there somewhere. Until you see, there's things that we won't fucking, I guess our eyes can't process correctly, uncanny feelings. When you get an uncanny feeling about a certain individual or certain something, it's just your body naturally telling you that, more spookies from spooky stories, right? So let's see, what's another one? Because there's been a couple instances. Woman in white on the road. So one time I was driving. It was late. It was late night. We were coming from. I was coming from. I don't remember. I was in North Carolina, so I was coming from out of town, and I was driving, and on the back gate, Wilson Gate, I think it's called the Wilson Gate, I believe. I think so. No, it might be a different gate, Wilson Creek or something like that. I don't know. The back gate. There's a side gate, anyways. Well, the rumor goes there's a woman in white that walks that road, right? So I was driving my little GTI, and as I'm going, I had the windows down, I had the music fucking bumping, and I remember the music I was playing. I was playing Black Bear at the time because that's the shit I was rocking. Shout out to Black Bear, great music. And so as I'm driving, I had my lights on. I just had my headlights done, so they were bright. They were nicely bright, and I had the high beams on because I was open. It was just a 2-lane road, one on each side, lane on each side, and a single lane road on each side, and then fucking like a 10-mile stretch. So as I'm driving along the roadside, there was a woman in white. And as I'm approaching, I could see it. I'm like, oh, this is getting weird because I'm like, why is she all in white? And I didn't notice. I didn't even look at her feet. But if I had a video camera or something, she must have not been actually fucking walking. She was floating. So I happened to slow down, and I don't know why, but when I started slowing down, I threw my car from fifth to fourth, slowed it down to third, and then I was cruising in second because there was nobody around me. So I was just, kind of cruising by. And I happened to fucking, I don't know why I did this, guys. So for y'all out there, do not pick up hitchhikers. Do not ask hitchhikers at night. Just keep fucking driving. It is what it is. If they really need help, call police. Dead ass. Yeah, no, because you might pick up a hitchhiker that's a shapeshifter, that's a fucking ghoul, ghost, goblin. You don't know it, and it's gonna happen. So here's the story. So as I roll my window down, well, my windows were rolled down anyways. I'm slowing down, right, and I fucking snap my neck to the right, and I asked the lady. I said, "Hey, excuse me, are you okay?" In the moment the lady fucking turned her face, she snapped left, looked at me. We locked eyes. She didn't have any eyes. I was just staring into the fucking pitch blackness of her face. Like her eyes. It was, oh fuck, guys. This shit scared the fucking shit out of me. I was like hypnotized for a second. I was in a trance. I couldn't move. And when I slowed down, I came to a complete stop. And somehow I had my foot on the clutch and my on the brake, and for some odd reason I was in a trance, and I was just staring at her for like a split, like 3 seconds or something like that, long enough to fucking see all the features. Yeah, no, fuck no. I wish nobody ever sees this shit because it forever sticks in your brain. And I don't know how I snapped out of it, but I just snapped out of it, fucking dropped gears, disappeared. I was gone. Hell no. Keep my window from that time on. Every time I drove down that road, had the windows up, didn't even fuck with it. Nah, we're good. So, I hope you guys are having a great Halloween, spooky Halloween. I know this is a bonus episode for you guys. So, like I said, have fun, give out the candy, watch out for the weird ditties out there, for the diddlers. And, I really appreciate all the views. I appreciate all the love and all the support from you guys. But this is just a little bonus episode with a little couple stories to brighten up your guys' Halloween day. So, like I said, thank you for listening to this episode and this little small bonus episode of Around the Loop.